Hi, this is Dr. Campbell, and today what I want to talk about is, can the St. Cloud Somali students eliminate the racism that exists in their school? Now, in a recent article, St. Cloud students continue to meet with a high school administrator with the intent on eliminating racism in their school. The focus of the transition involve white students and Somali students. Now, the only way for St. Cloud to eliminate the racism in their school is to empower teachers to transform the perceptions that students have regarding their intentions. According to an article that I read, several student groups were formulated after a student posted on social media a picture of a Somali student in a wheelchair with a caption that implied that the student was associated with a terrorist organization. And in response, about 70 students protested by walking out of school. And 2 days later, racial tensions resurfaced and the local police had to be called. Now, one of the students in the article reported that the relationships between teachers and Somali students need improvement. According to the student, who is also very involved in the school because he's involved in athletics, performing arts, as well as the cultural improvement group, this is what the student said. Some students and teachers that I've seen the last couple of years have been kind of uncomfortable with each other. They're either scared to discriminate or they just don't know how to act around each other because they're different. I think a lot of people are scared of offending others, but then they also don't want to be offended. So because of that, I think people kind of don't do anything. They stay to themselves. End of quote. And so why would teachers be uncomfortable with Somali students, which would hinder any efforts to eliminate racism in this school? And what Somali students and the educators out there need to understand is that the Somali students represent a double negative for many teachers. Now, the first negative that is a source that will hinder eliminating racism in their school is that the Somali students are black. Teachers discriminate against students by stereotyping according to ethnicity. White teachers have difficulty in understanding minorities due to teachers' rejection of students' lifestyles. Schools have a bias against students who do not share the same characteristics as white, female, middle-class students. Teachers are more likely to have negative academic and behavioral expectations regarding black students when compared to white students. White teachers have more negative attitudes towards black children and rate black students more negatively when compared to white students. White teachers rate black male children more deviant when compared to white children. White teachers direct more criticism and rate black male children personalities more negatively when compared to white male children. White teachers perceive white students more positively when compared to black students. European American teachers favor other students rather than black students. Black students who teachers see as fun-loving, happy, cooperative, energetic, and ambitious by black teachers are viewed by European teachers as talkative, lazy, high-strung, and frivolous. Now, the second negative that the Somali students are facing is that they represent Muslims. And many of the Somali students, they dress as Muslims, which is going to be a source that will hinder eliminating racism in that school district. The perception of Muslims became refined after the 9/11 tragedy. Since 9/11, Americans have refined their views regarding Muslims. According to David Ray Griffin, much of Americans' foreign policy since 9/11 has been based on the assumption that it was attacked by Muslims on that day. This same assumption was used to justify wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. It is now widely agreed that the use of 9/11 as a basis for attacking Iraq was illegitimate. None of the hijackers were Iraqis. There was no working relationship between Saddam Hussein and Osama bin Laden, and Iraq was not behind the anthrax attacks. But it's still widely believed that the U.S. attack on Afghanistan was justified. For example, the New York Times, while referring to the U.S. attack on Iraq as a war of choice, calls the battle in Afghanistan a war of necessity. Time magazine has dubbed it the right war. And Barack Obama says that one reason to wind down our involvement in Iraq is to have the troops and resources to go after the people in Afghanistan who actually attacked us on 9/11. You see, many of the perceptions regarding Somali students are associated with their ethnicity and religious views. The only way to eliminate the racism in that school district that the Somali students are facing is to promote positive racial teacher-student classroom relationships. This is Dr. Campbell. You can read more about other articles on my website at www.positiveracialrelationships.com. If you want to talk about it, you can call me on my direct line, 856-566-3267. Have a great day, and thank you very much.
Yeah. Be sure to check out positiveracialrelationships.com. Check it. Look, pull your pencils out, class is in session. Let's focus on loving our neighbor without a question. Visit positiveracialrelationships.com. Leading classrooms together like a marriage bond. Kick racism out, that ain't what life's about. For more information, check the website out.